Welcome. Good evening. I'm Miss Jill, and this is In the Know. Hello.
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 Hey, what's
And
going on,
hello, October. It's October
It's October.
already.
Yes.
And it's 90 degrees.
Yeah, until tomorrow.
I think, they said, is it Thursday? No, Thursday they said we're supposed to have a cold front come in.
Yeah, it's supposed to only be like in the mid-50s this weekend.
Yeah, I think we either broke a record today or got close to breaking a record. But it was hot. It was
Whatever
hot.
it is, I was going to say I love it.
The colors are so pretty right now.
Yes.
This is like, I was driving the other day and I was thinking, everybody, even me, complain about Indiana like it's boring. There's no oceans, there's no mountains, none of that. But then I was driving and it was foggy. It was the other morning where that fog, and it was right above the trees and the sun. And it was just like, man, it was beautiful. It's pretty. So beautiful time of year. So getting right into things, we're going to start off talking about community. Art Leadership Center, they actually made an announcement, a post coming up this weekend, Saturday, October 7th, from 8 to 5 at the Faith United Methodist Church. Faith UMC. It is the annual free community giveaway. So it sounds like they're going to have clothes, shoes, household items, and much more. So that may be worth checking out again at the Faith United Methodist Church this Saturday from 8 to 5. So that first. Next, speaking of October, I don't know if you guys enjoy this. I really enjoyed it more when my daughter was small, but like the pumpkin farms, a lot of people are posting, wanting to know where they can go have cider or do like the maze, hayride, all of that.
No, never. I've never.
Never?
I'm just kidding.
No,
That must be from just us from the north. That must just be us.
Ooh, what post you? No.
Yeah, no.
Sounds good. Sounds beautiful.
So anyways, the first one I found is the one that I'm familiar with is Hilgers Farms. You guys heard of Hilgers?
Is that still in existence?
Yeah, they've changed some stuff around, but that is still in existence. And they have the hay rides.
And they had that maze, that
pumpkin,
crazy maze, right?
The maze,
Yeah.
all of that, yeah. So also, I don't know if you'll be really excited about this, Clarence, but the zoo, not just the zoo Halloween, but they announced a new exhibit. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard. I'm a zoo person, but I haven't been to Fort Wayne Zoo in a couple of years. But
neither.
yeah,
So you're excited about the?
yeah, I like going to the
Upset.
zoo.
What's going on?
It's a
Halloween.
No, it's a new ride, and it's like I'm not gonna say ride, but
It is it's called the Bamboo Forest,
Yes.
and it's the rope course.
Yes.
So I had to look too because I was like, "What is that?" And they had a picture of it, and it looked super cool. Way too high for me, but it's a 2-story rope style course with 27 different elements, and they also have one for little children.
Yeah.
And the children's one, it says under 48 inches is like a smaller one
Right.
with 11 elements.
yeah.
So.
Now the one that's for the above
Adult.
children, the adults. What's the height or weight limit or anything? Because I'm going to do it. I rode a
was gonna
roller
ask
coaster.
you if you
I rode a
were
roller
thinking
coaster
about
in the middle of the ocean, so I'm going to do.
I think we should do it. I thought it
roller
looked
coaster. in
Yeah,
the
on
ocean.
a
looked
cruise.
fun.
Yeah, I was on a cruise and we went on a roller coaster right there. So if I can ride a roller coaster in the middle of the ocean, I can do that rope course.
Did you have floaties on?
No.
Okay.
But can I ask real quick, where was this located?
It was on the Carnival Mardi Gras. We were on a
The
ship.
crew.
Yeah.
The roller coaster
It's
was.
on a ship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they have footage?
I got pictures. I don't have footage. I have pictures.
Interesting. We learn something new about you all the
Yeah.
time. So anyways, it sounds like it's a pretty cool thing. 48 inches. You have to be above 48 inches for the adult. So you guys could probably go, but
I'm going.
I probably couldn't.
I'm going.
And this is open like now or when did it
Yeah,
start? Okay.
they just
think they
did
opened
the
it
unveiling
2 weeks
on, I believe, Saturday. But it is a $10 admission, so just like the ponies and other stuff, it is extra. They also have a free-flying sky rail that's over 120 feet in length. So I picture that as like a zip line. Is that what you think?
No, it's a seat.
Oh, like the ski things?
Yeah, ski lifts.
So, yeah, that would be worth checking out. I think we should do that as a group. Next is Dancing with the Stars in Fort Wayne. Have you attended that?
No.
No?
You haven't been on it? I'm not being funny. You haven't.
I mean, attended it all, like.
No, I've never.
Yeah,
no.
I haven't either, but it's at
Where's
the
that
it's at the Grand Wayne Center. It's actually this Thursday. It's on a Thursday. There are some people on there from our community. IMAC. Mark Vachon is on there this time.
He's going to be
actually.
dancing?
He is. He's going to be dancing.
Oh,
Yep.
that would be nice
Yeah.
to see.
So that would be probably something interesting to go see. It is a benefit for the Carriage House. And again, Grand Wayne Center, 5:30 to 10. Go out and support your community and people that you may know. Do you guys have any, Clarence, do you have anything coming up this weekend?
No, not this weekend, but for the month of October. And I sit between two ladies, and I want to, remind you that we just talked about cancer for the month of September, but October is Breast Cancer Month, and I encourage everybody. I send out text messages and Facebook messages to many of my friends, female friends today, and I was like, have you had your checkup? And several of them responded, no, I haven't. I meant to plan it. And then I had a few that responded to, I don't have insurance. So, hopefully there's some areas, and, wherever the areas these individuals are, that there are some places that they can go get checked for free. But I do encourage every lady that's watching us in this room or anything, that if you have not, please get your checkups.
That's good, Clarence, that you care.
Good reminder.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you are such an awesome, amazing friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's too many times we take life for granted, and I just lost somebody, to cancer.
Yeah,
so
right.
I just want to, get people, to get out and get yourselves checked.
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
Very good. So when we hear the words like conspiracy theory, I think of something like that's super far out there, like
Unsolved
crazy.
Mysteries.
Yeah, like
Remember that show?
like yeah. So
Twilight Zone.
that's what I think of. But as we know, in all the discussions that we've had here on the panel, some of those things that are called conspiracy theories, there's a lot of truth to
Merit
them once
to
you
it,
go digging.
yes.
A lot of times I think that people who are called these conspiracy theorists are people who dig into things. They're people who research instead of just seeing it like at face value. So I say that to say this. You guys know that when you were younger and the thing came on the TV and there was all these different colors
This
and
is
it
a
said
test.
beep and it
This
said
is only a
yes,
test.
this is only a test. And
Not
when you
the
heard it, you're
emergency
like,
broadcasting system.
I always think of war or something crazy like that in the old days.
Yes.
So the other day I was at work and a couple of my employees asked for tomorrow, Wednesday, October 4th off. And I was like, it's weird that two people asked for it. So I was leaving, and the one gentleman came up. He said, you know what I'm taking it off for, right? I said, I don't. It's none of my business, really. He says, well, they're calling for, like, that 5G apocalypse thing on Wednesday. And I was like, what?
What?
So he goes, no, research it, Miss Jill. So, of course, I jot it down. I go back and I research it. I hadn't even heard of this coming up tomorrow. Have you guys heard of anything coming
Yes,
up? Okay,
yes.
I didn't. I was completely oblivious. So basically what this is it's planned national test of the wireless emergency alert system. So it is scheduled to happen tomorrow at 2:20 p.m. It'll last about 30 minutes. Cell
30 whole
towers
minutes.
will broadcast alert tests for cell phones, radios, televisions. So, and this is something that they've done before. Just to give you a few facts, this test uses the same audio tone as it did in the 1960s. No known adverse health effects, but I mean, if there's intention, they're not going to tell us anyway what the health effects are. It's been used over 84,000 times to warn us about weather, missing children. I mean, those things that you get on your phone. Also, an alert will, like I said, go out to anything basically that can pick up a broadcasting
Right.
signal. This is the 7th nationwide test done on this system from 2011 to current. The 3rd nationwide test, and the 2nd wireless nationwide.
Yeah.
So FEMA says, they claim that there's no personal information that will be collected. They say that while you can opt out of receiving these messages, you cannot opt out of the test that is going to happen tomorrow.
Regardless.
So all of that sounds pretty normal. They have to do the test every 3 years. So here's the issue. I mean, does that sound normal to you guys?
Well, if you think back, because and I think it's changed names. I remember when we were kids, they said it was the emergency broadcast system.
Yep.
And it was on your TV and on your radio. Still today, they do the monthly test on radios and TVs, and you hear that, so I think this is the broader scale of what it is. But is it 2011 you said it was?
Yes.
Is that when they changed? Because I remember when they changed all the TVs, when they went from those converter boxes to digital, they did it right after that.
Yeah.
And it was supposedly to sync all the signals, so it's been happening before. The purpose we'll never really know, but the people that's fearful, I mean, they know where you are anyway if you got a cell phone. If you got a cell phone,
right.
you got an Apple Watch, you got anything on you, they know where you are, so, it's not like, you're hidden.
So
don't you think that, I would think that if they are doing it, I would think that we would need to know something all at the same time if there was some critical crisis or attack on the city or something. So,
and I'm glad that
makes sense.
You said that, because I was thinking, like, what could possibly be the issue with this? So, of course, I looked. I found so much information. There are a lot of influencers and people who have a lot of followers that are saying, shut off your cell phones all day. This is an intentional tactic from those in power to exert control over the population. So how would they do that? Well, a lot of people thought that when you received, for example, the vaccine, for COVID, we remember how we all felt like we were being pushed into that. Well, people are saying that there is a chemical in the vaccine, and that chemical is called, let's see. It's on here. I may have to come back to it. But regardless of what the chemical is, experts are saying the chemical is not in the vaccine. It was just used to help study the structure of the vaccine. So anyways, what these conspiracy theorists are thinking is the test will somehow turn on the technology with the material that is in, it's graphene oxide. So if you had the vaccine, you're going to have this in you. When the sound goes off, it's supposed to be, they're saying, the loudest sound that you've ever heard, and it's going to be like a vacuum. So ever recorded decibel-wise in history is what people are saying. So you've had the vaccine, this sound comes on. The sound somehow activates this graphene oxide that is apparently the content.
It makes sense to me. Keep going.
But listen, right. So they're saying, these people, and not just 1 or 100 or 1,000, like a lot of people, that this is not a test. And in fact, they're calling it October 4th, 2023, FEMA activates the 5G zombie apocalypse. Because also, if you remember, these same people or people who study, whatever, thought that the 5G cell networks were like all a plot to, kill us in the first place. So to take off work, well,
it just depends on, your level of suspiciousness.
Wait. So before you leave that, so at some point, so I don't have document because I never thought this would come back up, but do you remember hearing something about what was in the vaccine? They were saying it had like metals.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why I said what you're saying doesn't sound too far-fetched if that is true.
I thought exactly the same thing, and that's why I was saying, like, a lot of times it sounds crazy, but when you go to look into it, like, another thing here that I thought was very, very interesting is they are saying that, hold on, sorry, I can't read my own writing. The people that are calling this absolutely ridiculous are also the same people who felt the same way along the lines of, COVID and everything else. So if you felt a certain way about the vaccines, you're going to be like, oh, this is definitely what it is. But as somebody who was pro-vaccine, you're going to be like, oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. But with that being said, Clarence, I mean, does this sound far-fetched to you? Are you concerned about any of that tomorrow?
nothing. You know, I've said this before. I put nothing past man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't put anything past a man, because anything a man can conceive, he's willing to try to do. I mean, if we think it, we're going to try it. But you know, there are some other things you can, you know, factor in, the other variables you have to take into consideration that people are not talking about. I do believe that in 10 years they're going to have studies like Camp Lejeune. Did you take this specific COVID vaccine? So now you're entitled to this money, because you got to understand there were 3 vaccines.
Yeah.
3 vaccines. Do you understand? One of them was a placebo. One of them was a control group. One of them knew that it wasn't going to do anything. They just had to see how everybody was going to respond and react. So
Do we know which one was?
there's speculation, but I can't say because I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But they're one of them.
You heard something.
Yes. One of them is
Tell
a
us what
control
the
group.
street's saying about
The
it.
street saying is I believe it's the Pfizer one that was the placebo.
Oh Lord,
That
I
was
done
a-
took a placebo.
That was a test study. I don't know.
No, I don't even remember.
Well, you can't be here with us tomorrow because you have that metal inside
honey,
of you.
I'm trying to tell you.
You've got a whole
now
magnet.
You know why I won't be here.
But so what I'm saying is no, it's not far fetched, because anything that I can conceive, I'm gonna try it. And once I conceive it, I can convince a group of people to do it. So all I'm just saying, there's other factors that that it's possible. Am I believing it? We'll have to wait until tomorrow and see. So, but there's gonna be fallout from this vaccine. I do know that, but I don't know when, and I don't know what it's gonna be.
And so, Jill, you said it's going to be an extremely loud sound, right? So, are you saying that the person that actually received the vaccine, they're going to hear this sound louder?
All
or
of
it's
us.
going to be, so everybody's going to hear this loud sound for 30 minutes straight? Or you said they're going to be
I think
testing
that's
different
They're going to be,
systems?
so it's supposed to start at 220, like one of them sends the signal to like your cell phone.
Okay.
And then it sounds like the next one sends it to like the radio device.
And they're
It's
supposed to be
something else.
a minute
Okay.
each one.
Yes.
So.
And the thing too is
Okay.
the concern is that I guess it's never been 30 minutes before. Like it's never been this kind
So
of
it's too long
length.
to be-
So they're saying that even if you have your phone off or you opt out, you are still going to receive this message, period.
Wow.
And it sounds like it's going to be like some kind of a text message, kind of like when we have somebody
The
missing.
Amber Alerts,
Yeah. But super loud, like our phones are going to blow up type of loud. Like super loud, highest decibels.
Well, I mean, you got to think about
in the
it.
car and leave it.
And one of the things is, and again, I don't put anything past man, but you got to think about it. These things have been in place for a while. We had a tornado about 2 years ago. It hit out north. It hit other places. It just hit the city
Derico
sporadic.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tornado, and it hit sporadically throughout the city of Fort Worth.
Did it set the alarm off?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
set the alarm off. But and it's the same thing. But again, different levels, different reasons. But these things have been in place. It's not anything new.
But it's good
just
to know. It's good to know that, and too bad everybody won't know it, because if you're driving, you could be a senior citizen not expecting it, or a new driver, and
Yeah,
then that goes
scary.
off, and you don't. Yeah, so that could really cause some problems. So let's see how many accidents might pop
Yeah,
up.
and you let us know how you feel
at that
tomorrow
time.
after about
I will.
2:50.
But just know if I don't show up, I'm probably at home laying down.
We're gonna
No, that's absolutely.
We're gonna see.
I'll take a magnet and just click
It's
it
gonna
and bring
be a
you
giant
here.
recreation of the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
So you're not leaving conspiracies, are you?
You have another one? I'll
Fort
get-
Wayne,
Go ahead.
This new Oxford Street project.
Tell me about it. Tell
What's
me
the
about. Let's
conspiracy?
talk
Oh, I
about.
shouldn't say that.
No, let's
we
go
love
ahead.
our mayor.
Oh.
Everybody.
Oh, the mayor. We're gonna. While we're talking about the mayor, so we put a poll on. It's not really a poll; it wouldn't let me do that. But we put a question on Facebook asking if you thought that Mayor Henry would be our next mayor. This would be his
Yeah.
fifth
Consecutive.
consecutive term. So
He's been grandfathered in. He's here to stay. You didn't know that? I thought you heard that.
he's somebody's grandfather.
No, he's been grandfathered in.
So if you could answer that, it was a very simple, like I said, do you think he will, yes or no, and why?
Let's poll the room.
Okay.
Do I
You
think-
can't go first.
Well, I'm going to say yes, but this is only because, and I was just talking to somebody about this. This has been the quietest election season I've ever seen in my years of being informed about voting and anything. This has been the quietest. So if it's this quiet, what's going to move? There hasn't been any major contenders, any major people. We need to do this. We need to do that. It's just been so quiet. So
Well, you saying that, but you have somebody out in the audience that's saying it has not been quiet. So,
the spending in what I'm saying in the quiet is, the election is only 4 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
By May, before May, when the primary, you saw signs in every yard. You saw signs on every corner. You don't see as many
that's
signs.
because they got them all in my yard.
They got all in your yard. But you don't see as many signs.
right.
You don't see as many TV ads. You don't see as many,
I understand what
radio
you're saying.
ads. It's just been a quiet election.
What do you think that's about?
There's not going to be no changing of the guard.
Because people, they already know. You
Yeah.
think they said we have no need.
Yeah, there's
we're
no
not
need.
spending extra money
Because
There's no need.
I know I'm going to get right back
Yep.
in.
Yep.
Or I know I'm going to lose. So, I stepped out there. I said yes, to run the race.
And here's how
I'm not going to win.
I look at it like the people who are happy with what he's doing are happy with what he's doing. However, the people who are not, the ones who talk about change but don't do anything about change, the ones who complain about things but don't contribute to try to fix things, Fort Wayne doesn't like change, first of all.
That's true.
And sometimes you have to, if you don't like the things that somebody here is doing for your community, but you keep them in that position, then they are going to continue to do the same things.
Well, I think it's because, I don't know if it's that Fort Wayne doesn't like change, but I think that they have been seeing some things. They've been seeing, lights come on and the different, the pretty stuff happening. And so that may be enough for some people. So
Well,
they see that, and so they continue to keep
they see
voting
it.
for him because of that. Because I hear people say, oh, yeah, Mayor Henry, he doing it, Promenade Park, and this is going on, and look at downtown, and et cetera. So
Right.
you hear people,
Right.
look at all the streets he's tearing up, he fixing up
But those are the
everything,
happy
right?
people. Like, those are those people.
And then even the sad people are saying, look
sad-
at what Mayor Henry doing, but he ain't doing nothing over here.
Right.
But they
Right.
still acknowledging
Right.
That it's being
what
done.
they see,
Yeah.
And so I'm saying from my perspective, I can't blame everything on him because I know there's a lot of, a lot of players in the game.
Yep, I think he
So-
will. I think he'll have another term because I don't think
Yes,
that there's enough.
absolutely.
I don't think that he'll be voted out.
That's why why I say he's grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Because people, first of all, they're used to him. Who likes a stranger?
Right.
I'm saying you got to get used to somebody new. They know his ways, et cetera, right? The thing I don't like is because I was just whining a little bit before
But
we
you're right.
came
You
on
got-
about
that's
the
all right.
community development, this new project that they're doing. And so it's a part of that southeast, remember that corridor thing that they were going to do. So it's a part of that. But I just felt like it was something shisty going on. So when you say a conspiracy, you just kind of, just make me think of this particular thing. Because it's interesting to me that I've been on Oxford Street on the corner of Warsaw and Oxford for 30 plus years and writing letters and making phone calls constantly all the time talking about what we need to do, how we need to fix up. But yet now we have something that's getting ready to go down. And in case y'all didn't know, you have till October 9th. Okay, it's interesting. I'm just now hearing about this. October 9th is in a couple days. You have until October 9th. So you got to go on the website. You got to do whatever you got to do, but you got to get your voice out there. So you got to do a survey. But guess what? I got to say the names. I love all these people. It's connected to. I just want to say this. So this community development project is about the future of the neighborhood. But watch this. The corridor connects Weiser Park, which is not on Oxford Street.
not
I
on
just put
Oxford.
that out there anyway.
Not even close
But
to
anyway,
Oxford.
Irvin Elementary, Oxford Community Center, Ewell Wilson Center, Hi Cousin, Neighborhood Health Clinic.
But that's another year
Wait,
and a half
can I
before
just
they
say,
get there.
Neighborhood Health Clinic, welcome to the neighborhood, but they are not there yet.
That's another year at least before they get there.
All I'm saying is it's amazing. How do you overlook a business that's been there for 30 years? And then let's not even think about me. Even Mr. Brownlee has
Right.
been there before I was
Yeah.
born, probably.
Both
I
permanent
know.
fixtures.
Yeah.
I mean, both of you are
Brownlee been
permanent
there since
fixtures.
been Oxford Street as long as I've
Come
known
on.
it,
So that's why I'm saying I feel some type of way about that, if y'all don't mind me saying so. And then, so when you go on to do the survey, family, people, neighborhood, I'm gonna need y'all to really think about the questions they're asking about. Do you feel safe? Do you even feel safe across the street? Are there people speeding? But I want y'all to get to the one part when it asks you, what are you doing on Oxford Street? Who are you visiting? What are you there for?
Why? Is
They
that
got a
business?
spot that says other. Can y'all put down
Optimistic.
optimistics, Brownlees, or something?
Yes.
You know, make them remember.
Yeah.
Make them
One of the
see us
permanent
because
things.
we invisible right now for some strange reason.
And Doc V, you said conspiracy, but I won't say conspiracy, but I'm gonna say it was an absolute oversight that you nor Brownlee
think?
were mentioned.
How about they politic and they campaign in my business all the time? Yes. Thank you, Sharon Tucker. I remember when you brought some donuts over with Jill Quinta. Thank you so much. I love you.
Yeah, but I love how
I'm giving
eloquent.
props because,
but
you know,
I
she
get
did
it.
that.
I get it. But thing is, you were intentionally left off. Brownlee's been there for years, and I don't know over the last years why they've been trying to run Brownlee's out of business. I don't know, but you know, there's been things and there's been talk. One attempt didn't go through. Brownlee's is still standing, but Brownlee's has been there and for years, and you have been there for years. I support both of them. I get my hair cut at Optimistic.
Thank you.
I get my hair cut at Optimistic, and I go to Brownlee's.
And guess what? I appreciate that. But can I just, this is last little thing. This is a shameless plug. Even though Optimistic Enterprise has been there in the community for all these years, serving the customers, the clients, right? We talking about people that work there.
You're right.
So let me just talk about, people that work there, that drive to work, that come there on a regular basis every day. I have people that work in my salon that's been there for 30 years. I have people that work in my salon that's been there for 25 years. I have people that work in my salon that's been there for a very long time who happen to love driving to work.
Right.
They love where they work. And so to be overlooked at a time like this, it don't feel right in my spirit. So I just want to say thank you to the people that have supported, but even if you don't attend or go to Optimistic to get your hair done, you need to recognize when there's a place in the community that's standing for the community and not because you're making a whole lot of money. So I'm not standing there for me.
Right.
I'm standing there because I get people that drive past me sometimes and I'm in different places and they give me thumbs up and they say thank you for being in our community. So I'm going to need the people with the power that be, or the powers, the people in high places, as they say, to recognize.
Yeah, but also with this survey, it's been in the works for at least a month, but it just been posted on Facebook 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So if you knew months ago, why weren't you knocking on doors? Why weren't you, why weren't you out personally surveying? You said election, you want me to vote for you, you knocking on my door, you handing me some information, you giving me all of this, but now days before it pops up on Facebook and it's giving everybody the rush to do it, and when they already know. But I do think Brownlee's, and no short of Optimistic, because like I say, I get my hair cut there, my daughter gets her hair done there, but Brownlee's, that has been a staple in its community, that has served this community. People of this community stayed in this community when things were not the best. They still stayed there, and now you just if anything, you should build those staples.
That's
up
all I'm saying.
and then
After
build
being
around.
robbed,
Right.
I'm just saying stuff happened, right?
Yeah.
And he's still standing. He's still there.
Clarence, you talk about neighbors and knocking on doors. I have a question for you. Self-preservation, we say, is a lot of how we live, not just animals, but we as people. So when it comes to self-preservation and when it comes to you wanting the people in your household to be fed and clothed and taken care of, do you care more about your house and the children in it, or do you care more about your neighbor's house with the children in it? This is going to make sense in a minute.
Right. And I'm going to let you know, instinctively, yes, you're going to care about your immediate first.
Okay.
But I am that person that will give. I am that giving person. I'm the one that's going to look out. And my mother used to teach me this. We had people in the neighborhood. My mother didn't know if they ate or not, but if we ate and they were at our house, everybody ate.
Right.
We didn't know if they ate or not, but to make sure they ate, they sat at our table and they ate. So I'm still that person that if my family eats and you're with me, you're eating too.
So $75 billion has so far, thus far, before this new implementation comes through, has been given to Ukraine by the Biden administration. So that's why I use the analogy, because I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but over here in the U.S., we are not in a good place.
No.
The eviction rate is 50% higher for a reason. The aid ran out. The eviction moratorium, that is no longer, because we have no money to give to these people, most of them hardworking people who can't afford the rent, because the rent has also went up 39%, but the salaries have stayed exactly where they are.
You want to know the good side, and I say this facetiously, and I got to go there tomorrow, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. They brought the income guidelines up for food stamps now, so we're not gonna pay you more.
Yeah.
But you might qualify for food stamps. Instead of
How's
giving
that gonna help me? No,
I'm serious. I mean, we're not going to pay you more. Maybe you'll qualify for food stamps. I mean, instead of raising the salaries, giving people livable wages, they continue to fritter away, that. But it's crazy.
So does Biden have like an in with Ukraine? Like, what is the explanation? Because obviously he knows better than anyone, by looking at whatever he looks at, to know that we are not in any position to be throwing. I mean, and that's how I see it. If your house is taken care of, then you can walk over here and you can take care of their house and their house and their house. But if your house is in shambles, you have no business.
Right, and it's kind of like when you're on the airplane and they say you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
Yeah,
so, and that's what you're saying. So I see exactly what you're saying, Jill. And I question the same thing.
Yeah.
And when do you stop?
Right.
Like, are there rules to say you have to keep giving them money until a certain time? It's like, what's up with that?
And at some point, I mean, it doesn't benefit us. It does, so who is it benefiting?
Well,
I
the
think
theoretic
to step in because their partners are
right, and that's what I say. The theoretical is the military thing is that they don't want Russia to become like it was when it was the USSR when we were kids. They had Yugoslavia, they had all those countries in the one. They don't want it to become the superpower again. But then there's some kind of uranium reserve somewhere in that Ukraine area that they're trying to stop Russia from becoming a nuclear superpower.
Yeah.
So those are the things that they're going to tell us. Is that the truth or is that what it is? We don't know. But that's the things that they're going to tell us.
It's getting ridiculous. I mean, they came out with a new a new package or whatever that they're getting ready to send. Yeah. And like I said, we are in shambles.
Yeah.
People, it's not good over here. So we'll have to follow up and see if that plan's implemented and what people have to say about that. But we do want to thank you for joining us tomorrow evening at 8:30 for our NV In Depth. We'll be talking about the roles of the mother and the father. So that will be a good show. So we want to thank you for being with us. And what do we always say on our way out, Clarence?
Always protect your mind.
Good night. You nailed that.